guys, Michael at Chuck's Trucks. Today we've got an install on a 2012 Ram 1500. We're going to be installing the new Lund Bull Bar that incorporates a light bar inside of it. Pretty cool stuff. They actually unveiled this at the SEMA show last year, and we're seeing a lot of the new part numbers come out and be readily available. Today we're going to be doing this along with an Anzo wiring kit. This kit basically makes it to where you have a pre-wired harness that's good for all 12-volt systems. Comes with the switch, relay, everything you need to be able to hook up an LED light bar or maybe some dualies, just whatever you got that's LED source, so that you're not having to make your own wiring harness. So without further ado, let's get right into it. Alright, so the first thing that we've done is we've gone ahead and unpackaged everything. Here's the light bar that you're going to find that comes in the kit. It's just a single row 20-inch light bar. Pretty nice in construction too, if you ask me. Basically, there's no up and down on this light bar. So what I did is I went ahead and said, okay, the battery is on the driver's side of this vehicle. So with this being the front, we want to go ahead and orient the light bar so that the wiring itself is going to be on that driver's side, so it's less wiring, less distance for us to run it. So we'll start off that way. The first thing that we're going to do is go ahead and mount the light bar to the bull bar itself. And we'll start out by just going ahead and putting the Allen head bolts that they send in the pack. You want to go, basically you want to go lock washer and then regular washer. And just thread them in there a little bit. Next we take our light bar. We've got a couple of slots right here at both sides of it. So this is what our light bar looks like on the bottom side. So we'll go ahead and start threading these nuts in just a little bit at a time on each side. That way we make sure we're nice and even on both sides. And the bummer part is here, you got to have a little bit of patience because they're Allen heads and there's really no easy way of going about this. Also make sure you watch out here on these edges as it's stainless steel and it's cut, so it can be a little bit sharp, so make sure you don't cut yourself. Alright, so here's our bull bar with the light installed. And what you'll notice is we've got it pointed slightly down. The reason for this is that depending on what your traffic laws are, every state is different. Every area is completely different when it comes to lighting. A lot of the lighting laws that we do have actually originate from the 1950s and 1960s and have never been updated. With that being said, check your local laws because there are some areas where you're actually able to run a light bar as long as it's low enough on the vehicle and as long as it's within the range of how many lights you can run in the front of the vehicle. I'm not exactly sure what the laws are, but I do know that is the case. So we've got it aimed down slightly, that way it's not directed into incoming traffic. And of course, once we get it on, we'll aim it once we get out in the open just to make sure that we've got as much output as we possibly can have. The next thing we're going to do is go ahead and detach this fitting right here, and this basically just came off the light bar. It's the male end of the harness. We're going to keep this off for now because later whenever we go to wire it, it'll just be a lot easier for us to work with this instead of having it attached to the light bar. So now all we got to do is go ahead and start connecting our brackets to the truck, and we'll get on that. Alright, so the next thing we're going to do is we're underneath our Dodge, and we've got all these pins right here on the splash guard, and we're going to just take those pins and you're going to pry up on the center portion. And what that'll do is once you get that center portion up, it releases that bottom portion, so you can just simply pop it out like so. So you're going to go ahead and do all these across. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 all together. And then you're going to have, I think, a couple of 8mm nuts that you need to back out. So go ahead and pop those out so we can get access to the mounting points that we need for the bull bar. Alright, so now we're under our driver's side. We went ahead and took these two bolts off, and we went ahead and attached our bracket that's going to attach to the frame horn here. And then from that point, you got another bracket that attaches to that. One thing to clarify for you, if you didn't know, this is a green wrapper. That's what that part came out of. You're going to have two different colored wrappers that come with these kits. Green means driver 9 times out of 10, and then the clear is the passenger. So it makes it a little bit easier for you to understand. Next thing we'll do is we'll go ahead and tighten this guy up to where we still got a little bit of movement because we might need some final adjustment.
and we'll knock out the passenger side, and then I'll show you what the next bracket that goes onto there is going to be. So the next thing we do is go ahead and take our bracket. We're going to slide it on up here, and then you'll have a washer, a lock washer, and a nut on top of that. So this is what our bracket looks like from the back side here. So we've got frame horn mounts. We went ahead and pulled these nuts off, put our first bracket on. We got those back on. They're still loose. We put our next bracket on. That's going to go right here. We've still got it loose as well because it gives us a little bit of left to right play. The next thing that we do, and I'll just give you a side view of this. So here's what this entire assembly looks like. And one thing that you do notice is right there, there's a D stamped into it, just to give you a little bit better idea of what is the driver's side bracket. So we'll go ahead and install the passenger side bracket for now, and then we'll fast forward into the next step in this install.